It was a nervous affair before a back pass picked up by Zoidze gave Shearer a shooting chance from the unmissable range of 6 yards. England had won priceless points, but it had been anything but a comfortable victory. Scotland were taken apart by a Swedish side which featured man of the match Martin Dahlin. His effort kept out by Lambert. But as half-time approached, Scotland couldn't stop Dahlin, setting up Kenneth Anderson for a spectacular first goal. Into the second half, and Sweden could well have made it 2 through Zetterberg. Scotland hadn't created a genuine chance, and as Dahlin pulled the strings once more, a second goal did follow. Anderson again with the strike. Scotland's late effort from an unmarked Gallagher turned out to be a consolation goal. Their World Cup hopes severely damaged. Peter Staunton, news at 10.
3 other important World Cup matches this evening. Another critical result in England's qualifying group. Italy beat Poland 3-0. In Group 8, Romania beat the Republic of Ireland 1-0. And in Group 9, Northern Ireland are out after a goalless draw against Armenia. Cricket in the Benson Hedges Cup. There were wins today for Derbyshire, Durham, Essex, Kent, Leicestershire, Somerset, Warwickshire and Worcestershire. The British universities beat Sussex by 19 runs. At Bristol, despite a dislocated finger for England's Alex Stewart, Surrey slugged it out to beat Gloucestershire by 3 wickets. Stewart left the field for treatment, but later recovered to open the batting for Surrey. A 12-year-old girl made sporting history in Manchester today. Katie Parker became the youngest ever player to represent England at the World Table Tennis Championships. She played the game since she was 5. Today, she and her 13-year-old partner, Michael Chan, were paired in the mixed doubles preliminary against Ghana. Alas, there was no fairy tale ending. They lost in straight sets. The winning numbers in tonight's midweek national lottery are 8, 10, 16, 17, 24 and 40. The bonus number was 13. One winner collected the £3.7 million jackpot. Tonight's headlines again. The 3 main party leaders are back in their constituencies tonight after finally ending their election campaigning. The polling stations open at 7 tomorrow morning. And our coverage of the election results will be presented by Jonathan Dimbleby. Here he is now to introduce the people and the technology that will bring you the news of the winners and the losers in the battle for 10 Downing Street.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it's Election 97 on ITV, a formidable operation to bring you all the results as they happen. This is the heart of our operation at ITN's headquarters, where we've been rehearsing over the last few weeks to bring you the drama and the meaning of this important night. Preparing with me in the studio, Michael Brunson, ITN's political editor, with his years of experience and insight into the big political stories of the day. Across the studio, Alistair Stewart with the latest graphics technology, his battleground, his swingometer, and his virtual House of Commons. And across from him, Sue Lawley with the stars of the ITV 500.
What have you heard during the course of this campaign that's made you...
They'll tell us how they voted and why.
They're people, of course, who, because we asked them to be part of the ITV 500, have really studied this campaign, so they're really up to speed, and they've got views, you know, and they feel very strongly, so we're hoping to hear from them, and getting them to react to everything that's happening as it happens.
We're going to put in a new story, 9A.
In the control room, the emphasis throughout is to be one step ahead.
The aims of the programme are clear. We're going to have the fastest result service possible. We're going to have cameras around the country at all the key events. We're going to have clear analysis in the studio, but above all, we're going to capture the excitement and drama of the night.
As in any election, the results flood in fast. We'll have ITN reporters all over Britain at the important counts, the vital marginals and the big-name seats. The results from every seat in Britain will be here at ITN within seconds, ready for our analysts to crunch the numbers and make sense of the statistics. We'll be on air throughout the night and through the next day, bringing you the story as it happens. Whatever the result, it will be an exciting and an important day. We aim to be first, fast and friendly. So join us at 10 o'clock tomorrow night for Election 97 on ITV.
And we end tonight's programme with a look back at the election campaign and some of its happier images. Despite everything, could this be what we really think of our politicians? That's news at 10 tonight. ITV's Election 97 tomorrow. I'll be here again on Friday. Good night.
Hello, good evening. Well, I wonder if we'd get a vote in favour of all this dry, warm and sunny weather. Probably a close thing, because many people still need rain, of course. Not that we have any choice in the matter. Tomorrow will be another dry, sunny and very warm day. Temperatures up into the 20s for some. It's going to stay that way for a couple of days, with the high pressure still close by, as it was today. The weather front moving across the north, producing some patchy cloud. But apart from that, a dry story and a very warm one. As for tonight, a few mist patches to watch out for, both inland and, as today, around the coasts and hills in the west too. Apart from that, though, a dry night, lowest temperatures down to around 8 degrees. And any mist patches that do form inland will clear quickly tomorrow morning. So I think by lunchtime tomorrow, all of Britain virtually dry, sunny and very warm. The coasts in the west still troubled by some low cloud coming off the sea. But average temperatures this time of year are only around 15 at best normally, but the 1st of May this time round is going to be a lot warmer, up to 22 in places, and that's 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Slightly cooler perhaps in the north and west, where you have that low cloud and a breeze off the sea, but for most of us, dry, warm and sunny. Good night.
Power gen, generating electricity whatever the weather.
Because Kellogg's All Bran is now even better, we're calling it Kellogg's All Bran Plus. Still one of the richest sources of fibre, it's the only cereal to contain added calcium and vitamin C and E. Plus calcium to help build healthy bones and teeth. Plus vitamin C to help sustain a healthy immune system. Plus vitamin E to help maintain a healthy heart. Which altogether leaves you feeling on top of the world! Kellogg's All Bran Plus, a better way to help you stay healthy on the inside.
I saw this ad last week and I thought, that's my mum. Her cooking is excellent. She just needs to learn how to make a cup of tea. The people from Punjana, they decided to fly my mum all the way to Kenya to show her how to make a decent cup of tea.
You see, it's what's in the tea bag that's important. You can see the difference for yourself. At Punjana, we only buy the best leaves. And it makes a much better tasting cup. You try.
Now that's what I call a perfect cup of tea. Mum, I knew you could do it. Of course I can do it.
Anyone can make a great cup of tea. Just pick Punjana.
Do you know you can put your hair at risk every time you wash it? Surprised? Hair is most fragile when it's wet. Just combing can break it. Pantene Pro V can help. It actually makes hair stronger, so it breaks less. Provitamin B5 nourishes at the root and penetrates all the way to the tip. Pantene gives hair a healthy-looking shine and makes it stronger. Pantene Pro V, for hair that looks so healthy it shines. Stronger hair breaks less.
This is my home and this is where I like to be. I enjoy the land, I enjoy the outdoor life and the freedom. Farm Trader keeps you up to date with what's going on. Good European stories, good home stories, and the market section I like very much. Good paper, very readable, crisp and sharp and to the point. It's getting better all the time.
0345 828 828. The number to call for your motor insurance. First Rate Direct 828 828.
18 seats to decide. Find out who's sitting comfortably on UTV Live, Election 97.
Good evening. The Maze Prison appears quiet this evening, despite the fact that talks involving UDP and PUP politicians and the Northern Ireland office aimed at resolving the Loyalist standoff ended without any immediate breakthrough. But Both sides plan to meet again tomorrow afternoon. The prisoners are protesting at stricter security measures introduced in response to the IRA jailbreak attempt last month. Jane Lockery reports.
The maze appears calm this evening, but early this morning, Loyalist prisoners were back on the roof of the H-blocks. Smoke was again seen coming from the fires at observation towers. But shortly afterwards, the prisoners agreed to suspend a rooftop protest after the NIO promised to open a line of communication with the men. Outside the jail, hundreds of supporters and relatives of the Loyalists flooded into the visitors' car park to hold a protest. This afternoon, UDP officials John White and Gary McMichael arrived at Stormont Castle for talks with the author of the report into the IRA jailbreak attempt and the head of the prison service, Alan Shannon. After 75 minutes, the UDP said no immediate resolution had been found.
We've put proposals on the table and we're having a meeting tomorrow at 12:30 to continue our discussions. It means that the demonstration will go on. Unfortunately, we're unable to stop that. But until such times as some agreement is made between the prison administration and the prisoners, then unfortunately the demonstration will continue.
Later, representatives from the Progressive Unionist Party also held talks at Stormont Castle, but no agreement was reached. The party says it laid out the position of the UVF and their prisoners within the H-block and will talk again tomorrow. The PUP has appealed for loyalists outside the prison to remain calm, as fears grow that the protest will spill out onto the streets. Jane Lockery, UTV Live.
Hopes of a speedy settlement in the Montepay dispute seem as far away as ever. The protesting workers had a 4-hour meeting with the Labour Relations Agency today, but they say the company has issued writs against 26 of them, claiming £2 million in compensation for lost production. The strikers' representatives say workers will be back on the picket line in the morning. The company is expected to issue a statement later in the day. A 21-year-old man is due in court in the morning, charged with armed robbery and possession of a firearm in suspicious circumstances. It's believed the charge is connected to a robbery near Dungannon last night. There are just over 8 hours until polling begins in the general election, and already the Chief Electoral Officer is predicting there'll be voting abuse. Fergal McKinney reports.
The boxes that have held election secrets for years lie stored ready for distribution in a Belfast depot. Hundreds have already been sent around the country waiting for polls to open. This year there's been a substantial increase in the postal vote and a huge rise in those applying for proxies. It's an area where the Chief Electoral Officer has identified serious abuse in nearly every one of his many post-election reports. He's predicting the same this year.
We have applications, for example, from people who appear to be studying for PhDs, whose spelling gives rise to serious concern, even though it was cut back from the education system.
And is the number of these that you have already recognised giving you any more cause for concern this time?
No more than the last time, the last local government election. Clearly the problem comes, will such fiddles or forgeries or whatever they happen to be influence the result of the election? Only time will tell.
By this evening, all of these ballot boxes will be in their respective polling booths waiting for your vote. Remember, polling stations open tomorrow at 7 a.m. and close tomorrow evening at 10. Fergal McKinney, UTV Live, Belfast.
That's the news. Sport next with Stephen Watson.
Thank you, Paul. Northern Ireland's hopes of qualifying for next year's World Cup finals were completely crushed tonight. They were held to a 0-0 draw away to Armenia. Arsenal's Stephen Morrow captained the Northern Ireland side for the game played in front of a 10,000-strong crowd. Manchester City's Kevin Horlock had a goal controversially disallowed after 11 minutes. The Armenians also had the ball in the net, their effort ruled offside by the Swedish referee. Alan Fedis, deputising for the injured Tommy Wright, made an outstanding save in the second half. The ball cleared off the line by Colin Hill. A disappointing result against a side that has never won a World Cup game. And the West Ham pair of Stephen Lomas and Ian Dowie were both booked and will miss the next game against Germany, who tonight beat the Ukraine by 2-0. Ukraine are still top of the Group 9 table. Germany are second, Portugal third and Northern Ireland fourth, with a record of just 1 win, 4 draws and 2 defeats from 7 games. In Group 8, the Republic of Ireland lost 1-0 to the leaders Romania tonight. Roy Keane had a penalty saved after Ray Houghton was fouled. Houghton was subsequently struck on the head by a missile thrown from the crowd. And the Republic slipped to 4th in the table after Lithuania beat Liechtenstein 1-0 this evening. In the European Under-16 Championships, Northern Ireland beat Israel 2-1 today, and now need to beat Germany this Friday for a place in the quarter-finals. And locally, Coleraine have signed defender Mark Hutchinson for tomorrow night's game against Ballymena, and that's for Desi Lockree's testimonial. That's the sport for now. We'll have more on UTV Live tomorrow. Paul.
Right, Stephen, thank you very much indeed. That's the news and sport tonight. ITN will have updates throughout the night, and the next UTV Live news is at 5 to 10 in the morning. And don't forget, if you're voting tomorrow, remember to bring the proper documentation, otherwise you won't be able to cast your vote. For now, from all of us in the newsroom, good night.
Good night.
And now the UTV weather. Meeting the needs of local people with the progressive Northern Ireland's Building Society.
The start of the night will begin dry, and there will also be some clear periods, particularly away from the coasts. And in rural areas there'll be some mist patches forming through the early hours, some of these thickening up to form fog by dawn. It'll be a mild night with light to moderate southwesterly winds and lows falling to just 9 degrees, that's 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Some early sunshine to start tomorrow, and it'll be a dry and bright day through Thursday. There will continue to be some cloud for northern and western parts with a moist southwesterly wind, but for much of Ulster there will be some sunny spells, and it will be warm as well, with highs reaching up to 19 degrees, that's 66 degrees Fahrenheit, towards Down and Armagh in particular, and feeling quite pleasant in that sunshine. I'll leave you now with a look at the summary and a reminder of the weatherline number.
Would you dare to bear those tough whites? You know, the ones that are closest to your body? Well, that's a tough challenge for new dads.
Oh my goodness!
How are you?
Shocked.
So have you been using new dads?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's really good, yeah.
What, even on those sweaty clothes? Would you show them to the nation?
Yes, I'm just about to do my ironing. So,
Oh, yeah? I'll wait here then.
Okay.
Oh, you found something.
This is my husband's work shirt. Collars get really black. And also, deodorant and sweat. Often leaves a bit of a crusty stain there, yeah, a bit smelly. But Dad's really brought it out. Comes out really well, really white. My husband wants to look clean for work, doesn't he? He takes his jacket off.
You prepared to show that shirt to the nation?
I am, yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
Would you dare to bear all your whites? With new dads, you would. So what the old man making me coming round then?
He'll kill me for telling he has a dirty neck, won't he?
Who is talking to this girl? Is it a young lover, whispering promises of happiness as yet unlived? Is it a father who has broken the habit of a lifetime and for once not passed the freshly rung receiver to his wife, who talks to her about nothing and means everything to her? Is it an old friend, lost and now inspired by some freak bravery found?
A call from years ago that proves that nothing much changes between friends. Or is the girl herself completely deranged? Is she listening now, transfixed and happy, to the speaking clock? Who knows? Who cares? What other bundle of wires and plastic can do that to a face?
Bye.
It's good to listen.
In the world of close protection, the stakes are always high. Saving or losing the life of a VIP can be all in a day's work. In the line of fire, Sean Pertwee.
You do that again and we are really going to fall out.
Louise Lombard.
You're meant to back off or I'll have him disarmed and stood down.
And John Shrapnel.
What about Sniper Bob? You think I'm a murderer, Mr. Warren? My job is to protect you, sir. I'm not here to judge you.
An explosive new drama series, Thursday at 9 on UTV.
And now we return to Prime Suspect.